Hi and Assalamualaikum to everyone that watching this video. Today, me, Nur Afiqah, would like to present to you guys about my project report. For this semester, I have two subject matters, which is Cepedak and my chosen location, Temerloh. I will briefly explain to you guys about both of my subject matters. Cepedak, very famous in Southeast Asia like Myanmar, Thailand, Indonesia and even Malaysia. It has many clones and I choose the FET380 as my subject matters. It is a seasonal fruit like rambutan, durian and mangosteen. It has similar appearance like jackfruit but in different taste. The taste of cepedak is very unique and it very famous among Malaysian with the fried cepedak. It has also some health benefit like vitamin A and C. Next, we move on to my second subject matter, which is Temerloh. Temerloh is well known as Bandar Ikan Patin. It is developed and organized now. It is located in Central Pahang and is the meeting point between the east coast and the west coast of Peninsular Malaysia. The name Temerloh is taken by the word mereluh, which means sleeping in the language of indigenous people. Therefore, the communal sleeping area was called Tempat Mereluh. To shorten it, they call it Temerloh. Before getting this name, this town was called as Kuala Semantan but was changed due to rapid development. So why will I choose both of these as my subject matter? So I choose Cepedak because it reminds me of myself. It may look boring outside, but somehow when we open it, we will appreciate the uniqueness it has inside. So I take Cepedak to describe myself. Meanwhile, for Temerloh, I chose it because it is my hometown, a place where everything was started. It witnessed me growing up as a person and become who I am today. Temerloh have the nostalgic and sentimental value that I need to capture into my work. So I use the townscape of Temerloh as my subject. Now we're gonna talk about the element and principle that I have in my artwork. For drawing, I use a lot of straight lines to create the geometric shape which help to build the structure of the building. I also make it has different value and put some contrast to tackle the light and shadow which lead to create the form of the building. The element of space also appear due to the use of multiple perspective. I categorize this drawing as deep space because it has foreground, middle ground and background. It has also asymmetrical balance. For painting, I use the cool and warm color to create the light and shadow. The use of color and the brush stroke also help me to create the form of my cepedak. As you can see, it has very contrast color to show the open and unopened fruit, and this create the principle of emphasis. This painting may be categorized as shallow space because it doesn't have foreground. Meanwhile, for printmaking, I use a lot of line to create the shape and the form of the cepedak. The color use of warm and cool color help to define the light and shadow. For this sculpture, it has an organic form. The use of different color also create this sculpture looks interesting. It also have the rhythm because the different size of seeds. Now we're moving on to material and technique. For drawing, I use a lot of materials. The first layer was created with watercolor. Then I put bitumen on top of it while I was sketching my idea with it. I use reverse technique to create this work, so bitumen basically need to be a lot. Then I start to build up the form of the building with soft pastel, charcoal and pen. So for the painting, it was created with oil paint. The first layer I used oil pastel to sketch my work. Then I start to sketch my subject with color. I use warm color to present light and cool color to present shadow. Then I use brush stroke to create the texture of the cepedak one by one. Next, for printmaking, it was made with relief technique that require me to carve. So I transfer my proposal first to the lino, then I start to carve the lightest one. Then I put the second color and carve the color that I want. And the process was repeated until complete the 8 colors. For sculpture, I use fabric as my medium. The first step need me to make the form of cepedak seed. I sew it and create the seed will form one by one in about 50 to 60 seeds. Then make the pembuluh with the fabric and put the shredded paper into it. Next, to create the patches, I use a lot of different pattern of fabric with the cepedak scheme color. I cut them into 2 cm each and stick them together to create a beautiful patches. Then I wrap the seed and the pembuluh with the patches I made. After that, I stick the seed to the pembuluh and create the form of cepedak filling. Now we're gonna talk about references. This artwork give huge impact to my artwork in terms of style and material. The technique also was inspired by him. I like the way he made this artwork feels nostalgic, so I take him as my reference. For this reference, I take it because it have similar subject as mine, which is fruit. I like the way the artist differentiate between light and shadow. And for this artwork, I like the color that the artist used. I take the influence of his color, the way his carved also somehow influenced me, very detailed and careful. Meanwhile, for this sculpture, it actually selected because it have the same form as I imagine my chapada would be. I like the way the artist create rhythm when she used the different size of the object. That's all for me. Thank you for watching.